Our final award acknowledges extraordinary commitment to the University of Florida and the University of Florida Foundation. This award honors those who, through their bold actions, have shaped the university's future through their philanthropic heritage. This is a long list of Golden Gators who have given their time, their talents, and their resources to make our university one of the very, very best. It's only appropriate that our very own President Kent Fox present our final award for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, President Kent Fox.
So the recipients of the Lifetime Philanthropist Award have achieved extraordinary success in business, and they have drawn on that success to strengthen our university. Radiant optimism is a phrase that has been used to describe Don and Irene Dizney, and I think it perfectly captures their spirit. The Dizneys are industry leaders in healthcare, and they believe in the human mind's ability to crack the codes that will alleviate suffering. They believe in compassion and dignity. Those are the characteristics that should be the integral part of a healthcare system. A faculty chair in the University of Florida Department of Psychiatry bears the family name. They are champions of athletics, and they have guided the university through leadership on the University of Florida Foundation Board, the Gator Boosters Board, the Addiction and Psychiatry Advisory Board, the Florida Tomorrow Campaign Steering Council, and much more. Thanks to their generosity, our university is home to what is arguably the finest collegiate women's lacrosse and soccer facility in the country. The George Brand Center Court Club in the O'Connell Center, named for a beloved grandson and a die-hard basketball fan, is among the other facilities that have resulted from this couple's incredible generosity. And speaking of gifts, it can be said that they've given their greatest gifts to our university because two of their children, David and Danielle, are Gators, and their granddaughter Natalie is currently a University of Florida student, and I've heard from the provost that their granddaughter Grace was recently accepted. What better testament to this couple's belief in the strength and the promise of the University of Florida. Don and Irene, we have something we'd like you to watch.
You know, Irene and Don have been champions for the Gators for many, many years, and you see the way they go about the things that they do, the impact they have.
I think that comes from the heart, that they believe that having a loving disposition towards others is how they want to spend their life.
Whether it's professionally in the medical field, whether it's in the horse industry, certainly in the way they handle their philanthropy and setting a legacy for their family, for others to see how important it is to support worthy causes.
It's in their nature. They give because they feel it's the right thing to do.
They do it in such a loving way, in such a family-first way. They make you really proud to be Gators.
Being a named chair is a great honor. Here's someone who has great expertise in the area of healthcare and behavioral health, and they're continuing to invest in our efforts here. So besides the monetary support, there's also this acknowledgement that I really appreciate. Don and Irene were really visionary in putting support into a psychiatry endowment when they did, because the time of need is extremely high right now. Support like the one provided by the Dizneys really goes that extra mile to help us be ready to forge a better future.
It's not unusual to go to a Gator sporting event, football or basketball or baseball, and see Don and Irene, but also see their extended family. And Exact Tech Arena and the work that was done there at the O'Connell Center is a great example. I always get a smile on my face when I look up and I see George Brand's name on that center court club. George is a passionate Gator, and for Don and Irene to honor him in that way, it's really special. It's nice to know that someone who is as passionate about the Gators as George is, his name is always overlooked in whatever sporting event is taking place there in Exact Tech Arena. Well, Dizney Stadium is one of the real showpieces in our athletic complex at the University of Florida. And for the young ladies who get a chance to compete on this field, whether it's in the fall for our soccer team or in the spring with our lacrosse team, this is a great environment. It's a great facility. The community loves coming out and watching teams compete because the setting is so great. And I always get a sense of pride when I walk in here and I see the Dizney name on the facility, because I know what Don and Irene stand for, and it really seems perfect that their name is on this facility. They understand the benefit of college athletics, and they understand the benefit that helping young people compete and succeed at the highest level, the impact that can have across a big university like the University of Florida is really significant.
On behalf of Florida Lacrosse, I want to thank Don and Irene Dizney for naming the facility that means so much to us. Thank you for making the University of Florida an even better place than it was before. Congratulations and go Gators!
Honored guests, I am pleased to present the Lifetime Philanthropist Award to Irene and Don Dizney. Please come forward.
You know, I sat there and cried looking at my grandkids here. Our traveling squad is 18. We have 10 grandkids and 3 kids. And those 18 have been coming since this size. Now they're this size and they're all big Gators. In fact, my granddaughter, Dad took her all over the country, California and what have you, to visit schools because she was being recruited for lacrosse. And he called me, much to his chagrin, because she got some nice offers. He said, "I guess she's going to be a Gator." And of course, she'd been winking at me all along. Every time she'd take a trip, I'd say, "You really want to be a Gator?" "Yeah." So we appreciate this very much. We're humbled. Listening to all those young Gators is an exciting time. Listening to President Fox talk about us being a top 10, maybe top 5 university is something I want to be part of. To listen to Scott talk about our athletic teams and the fact that the athletic teams grade point average, I think Scott was 3.1 or something the other night. That's outstanding, and that's something that we want to be a part of. My wife Irene's from Germany, and when we got married, she knew everything about soccer and I didn't know anything. At baseball games, I have to pencil it out for her for a number of years, but she's got it now. She knows more about football than I do, and basketball is coming along real fast, which is not hard. To see little Georgie, who's a Down syndrome, when he was born, you know, when you're at a nursery and little kids, you can't tell they're Down syndrome. And a friend of mine was looking in the bassinets, and some lady came up to me and said, "He may be president of the United States." And I didn't know what to say. I mean, both of us were crying. And his wife came around, and she said, "What are you guys crying about?" And we said, well, we told her story. And she said, "Oh, geez, he's the luckiest guy in the world. He's born to a family that's going to love him, a family that can afford to teach him how to talk and how to do things." And we didn't know the George Brand Center was in the future, but he loves basketball. He goes to all the games. He does high five with the players. If you don't do high fives, he knows it's a bad night. But by the time we get to the car, he's happy again. So thank all of you. It looks like we've got a bunch of young Gators coming on. We adopted the university, so we're a strange one in this group. Our nephew did come here and get his master's from Germany in sports management. So Thanks so much for this. It's very humbling. It's humbling to follow those kids in front of me. Thanks, and go Gators.